How's it going, folks? I hope you're excited about this stock market weekly recap. I think it's worth mentioning. We made some moves this week, and I wanted to obviously show them this week for you. So let's take a look at what we got. We're going to start with the Robinhood portfolio, then go over to the M1 Finance portfolio, followed by how the markets did this week. See how we did in comparison. Then we'll get into some news. A lot of good news this week, actually. Well, a lot of news this week. How about that? Not all of it good, but there's some good, some bad. We'll take a look at the main news points. So, hope you're excited because I know I am. Let's pop right into this thing. So, on the week, let's be clear, bad week for us, right? $37,170 is where we're valued at right now, down 2% on the week, 2.14 in the last 5 days, $800 of loss there. Not good. Not good at all. Yeah, you don't like to see it. And obviously the last month, down 2.74 now. All time, we are still up 77%, which I'm more than happy with, and we've been buying a lot more lately. So you're going to see this gain actually, the percentage gain actually decline a little bit because we've been buying a lot more lately, as you might be able to tell. So what's the big change here? Well, it's relevant to my M1 Finance portfolio too. So I sold out of Southerly Hotels on M1 Finance, and I actually bought in on Robinhood here. So put $500 into Southerly Hotels here, which obviously has already seen a decent dip, 7% down, but 228 shares. Average cost of $219. I really do, from what I've seen, and I look at historical data on this company, and they're really headed in the right direction in terms of their revenue, and I think 2022 is kind of the year we'll get to turn things around. We've had positive news, in my perspective, in terms of new variants, right? You talk about the Omicron variant, and frankly, it seems off of the initial data that this is a very good thing for us, right? It's a very, very mild strain and highly contagious. So the fact that it's highly contagious is great due to the fact that people will build up natural immunity and antibodies that can ideally protect them from other variants. We'll see what that looks like, but so far it looks like this is not a deadly variant at all, and it could be really good. The vaccines are completely useless against it, so cases are going to go up, which obviously in the short term is going to be a terrible thing because, politicians are going to try to shut everything down again, and things might get ugly in the market again. They might get very ugly. In that case, we've got a lot of money on the sidelines just waiting to buy. So I hope you're excited about that because I am. And I might buy more subtly. But again, this thing, I believe, could get past $3 here in the next 6 months even. I think this will surpass the $3 that it was at, previously this year. And if you look, will it get to its luster in 2019? I think the revenue certainly will, but I think it'll take a while for the stock to appreciate in that aspect, and they're going to have to return the dividend to even get anywhere near that. And when they do return the dividend, I think I'll be making quite a bit of money off of it, so I'm excited to see that. And they'll return it slow. We want to point that out. They'll probably return it next year at a slow rate, probably just by a penny. Let's be clear with each other. But yeah, what else did we do this week? We can look at the history, and we will look at the orders, show you what we did. On Friday here, we bought $100 of QYLD, a little bit more of an income producing play there, so keep that in consideration. Nothing crazy, but $100 of QYLD, yeah. We had some dividend reinvestments, nothing crazy. Then obviously we had Southerly Hotels here, $500. Very nice to see. And at the start of the week, we bought $60 worth of SCHD. So keep that in mind. Very nice to see. So that's the Robinhood. Let's get in the M1 Finance here. How did the M1 Finance do on the week? Well, what can I say? Also poopy. 2.5% down. Really bad week for us due to a couple lagging positions, and you can see it's really mostly in the tech industry. Tech is getting hammered as of late. You see Apple down 4% this week, Nvidia down 8%. So Qualcomm down nearly 4, Alphabet down 4. It's really the tech plays that are getting hammered most right now, and that's where you see a lot of this massive decline here. Not good, $840 down, but that's okay. Let's talk about some of the changes we made, okay? You look in the dividends portion of the portfolio. This dividends pie, obviously we got rid of Southerly Hotels. What did we replace it with? Well, we replaced it with an ETF here. The Vanguard High Dividend Yield ETF, VYM. It's definitely a fund I'm a big fan of. Overall, I think it's great at historical performance. It's a consistent tracker of the market that earns pretty good dividends as well. So very excited to add this to the portfolio. $600 purchased. Obviously, we had $600 of Southerly Hotels, so we purchased $600 of VYM as a result of that. So pretty exciting to see in that aspect. I'm excited to see where it goes. We didn't really change much else, but we've bought obviously some more of the positions we were down on, OHI, Vici as well. So rough week for, as you can see, Ford, Kohl's, which is wild that Kohl's was down so much this week. But our dividends section did not do that bad this week, all things considered. I'm going to go to the main one. We can just check the activity. We did put in $200 this week, actually, in deposits. So just in case you were curious, oh, sorry, I put in $300 this week in deposits. That's my bad. I completely forgot about that. So our initial this week, it's really been a lot of dividend purchases lately, and there's a good reason why. So in terms of market volatility, we're seeing volatility rise, absolutely. So what am I doing as a result of this? I'm going into some more income-producing assets, stuff like Realty Income, Kimco, Clad, PSEC, OHI, Brookfield, and NRZ here. And then you see after we had this sell of Southerly Hotels at $586, we bought it mostly into VYM and a little bit of Prospect Capital as well, consistent dividend payer as well. Then we saw another dip here on Friday, so we purchased more on Friday. We purchased more. And more of it was dividends as well. OHI, VYM, Vici, Prospect Capital, NRZ. So definitely have developed quite the nice positions here. When you look at Prospect Capital, really developing this one into a big in with a monthly dividend payment. It'll be very nice. I love to see Prospect Capital. I love to see it glow. So how did the markets do this week? Well, you'll see we definitely underperformed the Dow Jones. And this is because we were a little bit more tech heavy. Unfortunately, in some of these, just basic, when you look at the Dow Jones, on the month, the Dow Jones is down 0.66, so obviously we're not performing quite to that standard either. So not a bad week for the Dow Jones. The S&P 500 had a little bit of a worse week, down 1.94, and on the month, and 1.65. So we're underperforming on both aspects, both the S&P 500 and the Dow Jones. But how's the Nasdaq? Well, that's where you get into a little bit of a different situation, and you see where we're kind of falling into this. It's our growth stocks. On the week, the Nasdaq's down 2.95%, and on the month, 5.5% down. So that's where you see we're underperforming the two other indices, but we're not quite performing as bad as the Nasdaq, which is kind of crazy. Yeah, it's interesting stuff, but I'm okay with it as long as we're sitting there in the mix and we're also producing income. That's really the focus here. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot of these hyper growth and or speculative assets have been getting hammered in the last month. You can see Bitcoin down 17% in the last month. Really crazy. I mean, really from the peak there, down over 21%. So, look, this thing's getting hammered. All crypto really is right now. So a lot of these assets that were valued incredibly high, and look, I'm not going to say I told you so, but I don't know. I don't know what I have to say. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. It's kind of how it goes when you're talking about speculative assets and valuations. So when you get into times of uncertainty, and those uncertain times mean incredible inflation, we've now got the Fed officially raising rates next year at least 3 times. So we're going to see rates back to where they were around the 2018 range probably around 0.75, between 0.75 and 1, probably 0.75 if they go with historical, which I would presume they would because it's Jerome Powell still. I presume they'll still be doing the 0.25% increments is what they're going to be raising at and or shrinking at. But yeah, look, there's a lot of negativity in the market right now, and it's really hammering these speculative assets, as well as just some of the stocks that have been going up like crazy as of late. Again, when you look at the Nasdaq here, and you look 3 years out, this thing it's just a absolute smasher, right? I mean, this thing is an absolute smasher. 1 year out, still up 18.93%, even after a horrible week. So it's one of these things where the Nasdaq and speculative and really growth stocks, I guess I should say, have been going up so heavily. It's kind of due for a little bit of a down period. Not everything can go up by incredible values all the time. So let's get into the news. Let's do it. Starting off with something that's actually very exciting for me. It's going to be, that's right, Neo Day. Hope you're excited about Neo Day. Very great stuff. They've unveiled the ET5, which is a midsize electric sedan. Very interesting to see. The automaker says the ET5 draws on the fluid silhouette ET7 and seamlessly integrates high-performance autonomous driving sensors into its pure yet progressive body line. So the thing about Neo, if you don't know, and we'll look at it right here, you can look at the price here, $51,450 with a battery pack there. And then if you talk about the 100 kilowatt hour battery pack, it's $60,550. Look, that's hard to say. And that's prior to subsidies, as they mentioned there, because typically the government will pay you for purchasing electric vehicles. So obviously expensive vehicles, but that's kind of the electric vehicle market right now. If you don't know Neo, typically their vehicles are pretty large, and this is a much smaller vehicle in comparison to what they've been delivering typically, right? The ET5, it's also a pretty nice design. I mean, I don't think anyone can deny that. It's a good-looking design. I like it personally. It comes in, very distinct colors too. Let me scroll down to that and show you what that is. Look at this. The website shows you great things, but look, who's naming these things? First Light Kiss, Sunbathe Orange, or Sunbathe Yellow, sorry, which is the one they premiered there, and then you also have Airspace Blue, which is actually a very nice color, which, by the way, is the Neo color of the year is Airspace Blue, in case you were curious. The Sunbathe Yellow is the exclusive color, and so is First Light Kiss. They don't exist, which is just beige. I don't know who wants a beige vehicle, but if you do, you do. But it's First Light Kiss. So very exciting stuff. Really excited about the ET5 and what it can do for them. And some negative news here for none other than Google. YouTube TV is going to be losing channels from ABC, ESPN, and Disney due to licensing disputes, which is obviously a lot more harmful for YouTube TV because it really reduces the value of their subscription plan. It really does. So we will see. They said that they will cut the prices supposedly when this falls off. We'll see what it looks like. I don't know if they will, but again, if they don't, it could be very, very difficult for them in terms of their streaming business. So keep that in mind. Rivian's actually rocking it and rolling it. They've reported 71,000 pre-orders for the R1. Very nice looking vehicle, by the way. And they're confirming their second U.S. plant because they're getting so much demand, actually. Quarterly loss is obviously anticipated, not a shocker, because they haven't delivered vehicles yet. So far, they have produced 652 R1s through December 15th and delivered 386 of those. So good for them. Only delivering 300 vehicles is not quite there yet, but again, it's pretty exciting to see what they can go at. So again, the valuation is absolutely just ridiculous for where it's at right now, but just keep that in mind. I mean, Chipotle here's in the news too. They're planning to own the Digital Kitchen in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. That's right. I said it right. No dining room or front line at all. No dining room or front line. You're not going to have a register to go up to. Can you believe it? Walk-up window for digital order pickup in a small format than the traditional Chipotle. I don't know why that's... Just stop. I'm not going to say that. That pisses me off. That's the dumbest word I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, so they're dedicated to digital order. So we'll see what that looks like. If that's good for them, if it's quicker, we don't know. And then as I mentioned, the Fed talking about raising rates. Not exciting for the market, but it actually handled it pretty well. And I think a lot of it is because we've seen a lot of these growth stocks already fall quite significantly, even prior to this announcement by the Fed. That's what I got for you. That's your weekly recap. Hope you have a great day.